Yeah. And then you have this ranked choice thing that kicks in. And that's when you take the 4 top candidates and then everyone votes and they rank these 4 candidates from all parties again. They could be nonpartisan, they could be libertarian, they can be Green Party, they can bring back, 1775, bring back the Whig Party,
Mm-hmm.
But whoever it is, if they make it into this top 4, it seems, then the voter gets the thing, and then they vote 1 through 4. Who their primary choice is their first choice. Then whoever they would vote for next, the person that they're next likely to vote for, is their second choice, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah, and it goes into explaining that too.
Let's say we're using ranked choice voting to decide what to eat for dinner tonight. Let's see. Moose burgers are my first choice, but if I can't have those, then I'd choose grilled salmon as my backup. Next, I'd pick halibut tacos. I don't really like pizza, so I'll leave that out. If any menu item has a majority, more than 50% of the first choice votes, they win. But in a more competitive race, the counting would continue like this. Example, pizza was ahead after the first round, but doesn't have a majority of the votes. That means that we eliminate the last place candidate, Moose Burgers, and voters who had Moose as their first choice will have their votes instantly go to their second choice. 12 people ranked salmon second, so their votes go over here. 4 people ranked halibut second, only 2 people ranked pizza second, and this person didn't pick a backup choice, so their vote doesn't go anywhere.
Pause.
Yeah, their vote doesn't go anywhere. So you're just out now?
Yeah. So if you didn't catch that, if you vote, say you didn't pick because you don't want to vote for anyone else. So what happens is, the way I'm understanding this is that this ranked choice voting thing essentially gives you 4 votes, right? Each person essentially gets 4 votes, because if they pick the first choice, and the first choice doesn't get the most votes or doesn't win, or then it goes to their second choice. If their second choice doesn't win, it goes to their third choice. If their third choice doesn't win, it goes to their fourth choice. So, if you rank everybody that's on there, 1 through 4, but you're a Republican and you don't want to vote for a Democrat, and you don't want to vote for someone who's undecided or undeclared, and you don't want to vote for someone who's libertarian, say you're like, I don't want to vote for all those people because they definitely don't stand for what I stand for, and I'm just going to vote number 1 for the Republican, and your Republican doesn't make it,
Then it's like you didn't even have a vote.
then you essentially do not have a vote. Like it just said, then your vote goes nowhere
Yeah.
because you only chose one, and that choice is now off the menu. So much for your, was it pizza or turkey burgers?
Pizza,
Pizza got kicked off the menu there.
Or no, I'm sorry, there was Moose Burgers got kicked off the menu because
Oh, right.
they had the least amount of votes.
Yeah, it was, and it's not that it wasn't an option that wasn't wanted. It was like people's like second choice or whatever. Only 2 people made Moose Burgers their second choice.
So if we can go back a little bit here.
Yeah.
In a more competitive race, so if there's a first round and somebody wins by over 50%, then they win.
Yeah.
But if it goes down to it and nobody has reached 50%, then
There's a split.
There's a split. So the bottom tier, they'd take those with the least amount of votes. They'd take that one. Okay, what's your second? Okay, then they'd move that over to their second. And
Right.
then what's your third? Okay, we move that over to the third. And then what's your, basically they just cut it up like that. So we can go back a little bit further.
So for example, if there's 4 people, Joe, Bobby, Harry, and Sally, and then, say nobody gets 50% of the vote, Then they go to the lowest one, say Sally got the lowest amount of votes.
She's out.
She's out.
Yeah.
And then the next lowest one, they go and see what their second option was.
No, since Sally's out now,
right.
They take her primary voters
Yeah,
and they go to their second choice.
Yeah, they would take the primary voters and from the people who picked Sally, and they would say, all right, what was your second option? So Joe, Bobby, Harry, and Sally. Say Joe had the most amount of votes overall. Bobby had some, and then Harry had second most. Say the people that voted for Sally, their second choice was mostly Bobby. Now all the Bobby votes go to Bobby, and now Bobby's in the lead. And it's a mess.
Yeah, and if you want to see, there's this is basically, or it is a video, and you can go to alaskansforbetterelections.com, and there's a video right there on the front page. You can also click on try out the virtual mock election. So you basically vote in a mock election online, and then it'll generate a mock election so you can view the results live. But there's also a headline from the Washington Post, I believe. Yes, or the Washington Examiner. And it says, Alaska will be counting for weeks thanks to idiotic ranked choice voting.
Yep.
And so basically, in the original voting style, there's one count.
Yeah, there's one count, and
then that's it. That's the final decision. There's one count. But now, since maybe it doesn't reach 50% immediately on any ballot or any candidate rather.
Right.
Then you have to go back and count again.
Yeah, they got to go back and count all the second tallies. And if those don't make somebody go over the 50% line,
then they have to do it
go
again.
Vote all the third tallies. So the people who vote for the most candidates that are the least like, those people get 2, 3, 4 votes, which is unreal. And if there's someone that knows what they want, they're solid on what they want, and they don't want to vote for anyone else, and they're not open to voting for anyone else, and they just vote for one person, and that one person gets wiped, then their vote does not count.
Yeah, it's like
it doesn't go towards anyone. Yeah, it's as if it never existed. By
the way, vote Kelly for Alaska Senate.
Yeah, Kelly for Alaska Senate. And as much as it makes some people cringe, and this is, I don't know if Rob will disagree with me or not, but Sarah Palin for the other spot as well.
I think that's probably the best bet.
Yeah, she's not the most liked, but it's better than a baggage.
Right.
And
it's
bigger than Mary, is better than the Democrat Mary as well.
Is.
So,
but let me just replay that last section of that video where it's a closer tie on the hypothetical votes here.
Race. The counting would continue like this. Example, pizza was ahead after the first round, but doesn't have a majority of the votes. That means that we eliminate the last place candidate, Moose Burgers, and voters who had moose as their first choice will have their votes instantly go to their second choice. 12 people ranked salmon second, so their votes go over here. 4 people ranked halibut second. Only 2 people ranked pizza second. And this person didn't pick a backup choice, so their vote doesn't.
So no backup choice for their secondary. They just voted Moose Burgers, and that was it.
Yeah, and they know they only wanted Moose Burgers.
Yes.
So their vote doesn't go anywhere.
Bam.
Now
right
salmon
there.
has a majority of votes, so salmon is the winner.
And that's in the best case where a secondary. Now, there probably won't be a third, like a tertiary vote, because I think there'd be enough people to get over 50% on any given candidate in the second round. But there is that possibility that it could go to a third or a fourth because of the ranked choice.
Right.
You go out to 4.
And it says, I think right now, Lisa Murkowski's sitting at 43.7% of the vote, and then Kelly Shabak is at 40.7% in the ranked choice voting. So they both have qualified for the second round.
Right.
Now, the Democrat who is in this running, the fourth person got eliminated. The Democrat that's in the running has overall, from what I read online here, this is from Anchorage Press. Patricia Chesbrough, who is the Democrat on the ballot that's running against Murkowski and Shabaka, she has overall 2.2% of the votes.
Mm-hmm.
But she's got most of the votes for the Democratic Party. Like, the Democrat Party is unified behind Chesbrough, which could be a problem because we have a split on the Republican side of things.
Yeah, between Lisa and Kelly.
Yeah. And so with this ranked choice thing, it's could be a problem because since the Democrats have narrowed down their side of the race.
Yeah, those votes, even though she only has so many, it could pop over to Lisa.
Yeah.
I mean, and we'd be real trouble.
Yeah. Yep. But,
and this is where we come to our Wake Up Republicans session. Like, you got to get your head out of the sand. The time is now.
Yeah. And I've gone on for so long thinking, like I've hated registering Republican to vote for people that support things that I agree with, because that stuff doesn't exist in a people that would have been libertarians or nonpartisans support too many wacky things that I just can't go along with.
Right.
Like, with people who are nonpartisans that support abortion, I can't go along with that. People who are libertarians that support legalize any kind of drug, I can't go along with that. And so I have to, if I want anything that I believe in, as a Christian, I have to vote Republican, got to register Republican.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so hard for me because I have to think, how much worse or how much better is it really when some of the Republicans are so obviously spineless,
or rhinos?
Yeah. And so it's frustrating. And
I understand completely because I've been in that same situation. And sadly, for me, for a number of years, it was, I don't trust any of them, and I'm just not going to vote.
Yeah.
And sadly, I'm just one man, but how many people out there were thinking like me? Yeah. And their votes just were never cast. And now here we are.
Yeah. And then that's the crazy thing is that I think Trump really awakened those people.
It did for me.
Yeah. And but now, because you have whole swaths of Republicans that are actively fighting against the leader of their party, because Trump came in as a Republican and he is the leader of the Republican Party, whether they like it or not.
Right.
Whether
he wasn't spineless enough for them.
Whether Turtle Mitch wants him to be there or not, he is. There are some people that are in federal government on the Republican side that have recognized that and are going with it because they see the change and they like the change that it's made in the party. They like the energy that's been brought back to the Republican side of the aisle. People like Jim Jordan, people like Ted Cruz, people like Matt Gaetz. They like that, and so they see that it's livened the party. But there's holdouts still. There's too many holdouts in the Republican Party, and so that's why I think whatever we can do on the Republican side of things to vote for Trump-backed nominees we better do.